Hello everyone. In this video, we'll discuss about vitamin K. Vitamin K cycle under this topic is a very important short notes. K stands for coagulation in German. We'll discuss this topic under 6 side headings. First one is chemistry, followed by absorption, transport and storage, biochemical functions, RDA, sources of vitamin K, and finally its clinical manifestations. Moving on to its chemistry, vitamin K exists in three forms: K1, K2, K3. K1 is referred as phylloquinone and it is present in plants. K2 is known as menaquinone and it is synthesized by intestinal bacteria. K3 is known as menadione and it is a synthetic form. 1 milligram of menadione is given as prophylactic dose in infants. I'll tell you the reason in the end of this video. All three vitamins K1, K2, K3 are naphthoquinone derivatives with isoprenoid side chains. Vitamin K1 has 20 carbon side chains and vitamin K2 has 30 carbon side chains. Kindly note this point that vitamin K is the only fat soluble vitamin which acts as a coenzyme. Now let's discuss about absorption, transport and storage of vitamin K. Vitamin K is absorbed in the intestine along with chylomicrons. It is transported in the plasma along with beta lipoprotein and it is stored in the liver. Now we'll move on to the functions. The first function is coagulation. Clotting factors 2, 7, 9, 10 are synthesized by liver as inactive zymogens. To activate them, we need vitamin K. Glutamic acid present in these clotting factors must undergo post-translational gamma carboxylation to form gamma carboxyglutamate. In simple words, glutamic acid here has only one negative charge. When it undergoes gamma carboxylation in presence of vitamin K, carbon dioxide and oxygen, it forms gamma carboxyglutamate. That is, we get a extra negative charge. With the help of two negative charge, calcium binds here and activates the clotting factors. The second function of vitamin K is the activation of osteocalcin. Osteocalcin helps in bone formation. Osteocalcin is also activated by carboxylation of glutamic acid. Now let's discuss about vitamin K cycle. This cycle has 3 steps in it. When glutamic acid gets converted to GCG, gamma carboxyglutamate, in the presence of carboxylase, reduced form of vitamin K, hydroquinone, also gets converted to epoxide form of vitamin K. With the help of epoxide reductase, epoxide form of vitamin K gets converted to quinone, that is oxidized form of vitamin K. Simultaneously, reduced lipoic acid gets converted to oxidized lipoic acid. With the help of vitamin K reductase, oxidized form of vitamin K quinone gets converted to reduced form of vitamin K hydroquinone. Simultaneously, NADPH gets converted to NADP+. Now the significance of this cycle is, in the second step of the cycle, warfarin and dicumarol competitively inhibit the gamma carboxylation system due to structural similarity with vitamin K. Therefore, they are used as anticoagulants. Causes of vitamin K deficiency. First cause is prolonged antibiotic therapy. Previously, we saw that K2 form of vitamin K is synthesized by the intestinal bacteria. Therefore, prolonged use of antibiotics leads to perishment of these intestinal bacteria. Second cause is malabsorption of lipids. We saw that vitamin K is absorbed in the intestine along with chylomicrons. Therefore, malabsorption of lipids leads to vitamin K deficiency. Moving on to clinical manifestations. Vitamin K causes hemorrhagic diseases of newborn. Hemorrhagic diseases of newborns include nasal bleeding and mucous membrane hemorrhage. It is mainly seen in newborns because of 3 reasons. First one is lack of hepatic stores. We saw that vitamin K is stored in the liver. This storage is very less or absent in newborns. Second reason is breast milk. Newborns are mainly dependent on breast milk, which is not a source of vitamin K. Third reason is sterile gut. Newborns have sterile gut, which is devoid of intestinal bacteria. This is the reason why 1 milligram of menadione, that is K3 form of vitamin K, is given as prophylactic doses to infants. Recommended daily allowance of vitamin K is 50 to 100 micrograms per day. Sources include green leafy vegetables and intestinal bacteria. Last topic is hypervitaminosis K, which means presence of high levels of vitamin K. Presence of high levels causes hemolysis, hyperbilirubinemia and brain damage. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you.